Hello everyone, this is ACryInShame, part of the Long Term team, bringing you yet another Factorio episode. This is episode 4, if I'm still counting correctly. I have a tendency to forget what number I'm on, because I'm just kind of record, I do my thing. But when we left off, we had gotten this set up, we had gotten our basic here, we gotten our electric circuits going on here, and we are about ready to begin our science production. We want plenty of room here, because we're going to be kind of maxing out this area, more or less, much as we can, so we're going to keep that where it is. We're going to come down here and probably start the science down here. Another thing we're going to need to work on, because we're going to want to get both red and green science set up because of the water setup here that's sitting here. We're going to kind of want to clear this, so we're going to want landfill, but we need both red and green science to be working before we can do that. So let's go ahead and do a quick little mapping here. I'm going to grab my blueprints. We're going to rotate this so it's the next one over. We are going to copy this section here. Right? Copy. We're going to flip it around. Now, this is not how it's going to be set up, honestly, because it's, you know, the reverse direction of things. But it gives us a good idea of where things are so that we can properly measure for our science setup, because we want to have this area going as much back as possible to fill the build up and whatnot. We also want to check our map. Once again, you can see that I have the blue for my pollution. Pollution's not doing too bad. There's a lot of trees that are sucking up the pollution, so that's good. And we're not overdoing our pollution setup right now, so not too bad on that one either. We are doing pretty darn well, if I do say so myself. Let's have these come down. I'm doing that right. Okay. I was like, why am I having an extra line here? What am I doing? Alright, coming down here. Alright. So we need to do same for our iron. Bring that down. Bring this down here. Come on, guys. We can come on down heels. Get that going. Come on down. And here we go. And there we are. We're going to get some splitters set up. A few of those going. Alrighty, so first science is the standard copper and iron wheel stuff. I would love to get plenty of assembly machines. We need this. I'm gonna do that too. I could have that come down here, couldn't I? I like that idea of having that loop around if need be. Circuits could be its own line, perhaps? Or should it be a mixed line with steel? Decisions. But at least splitting these off is pretty easy. What you do is split, split, split. Bam. Because there's only two lines. That'll keep it pretty much as even as you're going to need it to be. I'm not going to say it's going to be like a perfectly split or anything, but it's totally more than what you require. So just work with that. Alright, so we'll have this come up. Here looks good. Have our piece here. Power as usual. Now, because the way this is set up like that, this will be gears. Because we're going to, I mean, we can auto do inserters, but I'm trying to do assembly machines. Gears, iron, and whatnot. And then this will be circuits. So we need that here. We need some reds. Put that back. Just a few reds. How much do I want to do here? I'll do that. Won't do that much. That looks fine. I'll do one there. This is just gonna be our loop. This is going to be the base stuff that we're going to use a lot of, which is why we're doing this whole loop thing here. Well, it's not a loop, it's just kind of a elongated connection. A loop would mean that it would actually connect back on itself, and in my experience when it comes to Factorio, loops just don't really help you all that much. I get as to why you might think they're a good idea, but a lot of times you're better off doing a standard setup than you are looping things. It just doesn't turn out nearly as well as you'd hope they do, or hope they would. Right, I need a blue before I can do an auto production for the sewing machines. But it is sitting here and ready to go. I need the automation 2 to finish, so we're going to grab some copper, get that rolling. I do want to get science going. I'm going to tear this down and get some science rolling over there. So we need more sewing machines and copper. So get that going, because we're going to need the automation 2 for the blue assembly machines, our tier 2 assembly machines. And we're going to need a lot more assembly machines for this as well. Which is why I was hoping to get the assembly machines down here set up, but it doesn't seem to be the case for us today. Which is fine. And I am off by 1 here, because I should move this to the left 2. No, 1. Yes, off by 1. It's a common error of mine for those of you who watch me often enough to know that. If you're new to watching me, welcome! You will see I will make plenty of mistakes, so do note that making mistakes is perfectly fine. It's all part of the learning process, and don't kick yourself for it. Like, seriously, do not kick yourself for it. There's no reason to be upset with yourself for making mistakes. It's all part of the learning process. You learn more from making a mistake than you do for doing it correctly. So unless you've done it already and you've already learned from those mistakes, do not feel bad for making them. There's nothing wrong with making a mistake. It's just, if you were to make a mistake and then choose not to learn from the mistake, that's where making a mistake is bad. Like, severely bad. Because if you don't learn from your mistakes, then there's no value in the mistake. Do you understand what I'm saying? It sounds a little weird, I know. But there's actually value in making a mistake. Because by making a mistake, you get something back from it. You know, you learn something. You grow from the mistakes you make. I'm like being a little philosophical here for a minute. But I'm being honest. Like, making a mistake in life does not mean you're a bad person or anything like that. It means that, you know, at a point in your life, you didn't know what was right, or maybe you thought what you were doing wasn't bad enough to, you know, not do it. You know, you weighed your options and you thought maybe it'd be worth doing, even though you may have known that it was the wrong thing to do. I mean, people have made plenty of mistakes in life. It happens. But it's learning from those mistakes is far more important than trying to force yourself to never make mistakes in life. Because honestly, you're just, at that point, who are you trying to convince? Who are you trying to convince that you're not going to be making mistakes? Because it ain't me, brother. It is not me. I think that you're never going to make a mistake in your life. Or that by making a mistake that you're a terrible person. No. It's a mistake. A lot of times mistakes, you know, are not done purposely. Some are done purposely knowing they're wrong, but are done in the hopes that the mistake is worth doing. But you'll get more out of it than you lose from doing so. But of course, it's obviously, if it was a case where you did get more out of it than you had lost, then it wouldn't be considered a mistake, now would it? It's more of a calculated risk at that point. The mistake is the fact that you learn that it was not worth it. That whatever value you found in doing the action was not there. The value that you thought you had did not exist for whatever reason that may be. Sorry, I'm going on about this and it has nothing to do with Factorio. I'm just being a little philosophical today. I don't know why. It just is. There are times I don't understand my mindset. I just kind of ramble on a little bit when I play. for those of you who have watched my videos, probably already know that. I just like to talk a lot. Kind of keeps... I mean, the funny thing is, by talking and discussing things, I can keep focus on what I'm doing and not worry so much about trying to keep you guys entertained, because by talking, what I'm saying, whether it's related to Factorio or not, it may actually interest some of you. Maybe not all of you, but some of you might be interested in what I'm saying, and it's like, oh man, that ACryInShame guy, he's got some spiritual whatever going on. In all actuality, it's not quite that. It's just, you know, I'm 27 years old. I've been around for a little while. I'm not gonna claim I'm old and wise or anything like that, but the fact of the matter is I have made mistakes in my life. Can't do anything to reverse those effects. I mean, it is what it is. But to sit here and pretend they didn't happen, or sit here and, you know, not properly learn from them. So what's this? This is 1, right? So this is 2 for every half second. These create 1 every 5 seconds, so then it can do a total of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the total of 10. Okay, that's what I thought. It's been a little while since I set this up properly. So I had to remember the ratios here. I'm gonna grab up here, here, straight up. So I have to do ratios based on how quickly things are crafted, not just on like how much I can fill a belt with. There's different ways of going about it. I mean, it's Factorio. Kind of do what you want. But I was saying, you know, 27, made some mistakes in my life. Things have changed for the worse or the better or what have you. But, you know, I've changed the way I think about life because of that. Because of the things that have happened. I mean, I don't sweat the small things anymore because there just isn't value in worrying about it. There's nothing to be gained by worrying about the small things in life. I mean, enjoy the small things in life. Enjoy the simple things in life, because I mean they're important in the case of, you know, it's the little things that matter to people, like directly. Like if I do something nice, but you know it doesn't really affect me directly too much. You know, it's not a real high cost for me, but it might make someone's day. Something as simple as, you know, a random visit to Mother on a Wednesday. Like I might have just a Wednesday off some random day, and I decide to go see my mom and see how things are doing, how she's doing, and how's the house coming along, because she's remodeling her house, doing it all herself too. Crazy, but she's got that spirit, you know. Age has not slowed her down. That woman has fought breast cancer and won, so when it comes to that kind of, you know, go-getter mentality, she's got that spirit, alright. It's crazy, though. My mom is nuts. Love her to death, though. But part of that craziness is her protectiveness of her children, such as myself. She really cares about us and wants us to have, you know, a full life and whatnot. I'm 27, I've mentioned a few times, but like, she still treats me like I'm her 17-year-old boy, sitting, living, sharing rooms with my brother. Like, that's how it's always going to be, though. That's fine. I've accepted that fact. Because having a daughter of my own, you kind of just get this whole feeling that no matter how old your children get, they will always be your children. They are your child, they are your little baby, and that's how it's going to be. So if you are a teenager or young adult and you think your parents are kind of overprotective, or you know, they don't treat you as an equal because you know you're an adult now. Honestly, take it with a grain of salt. Just understand that as a parent, you as their child will always be their child. So even if as you grow up and you have your own family, like, you're still going to be their baby boy or girl. That's just how it works. It don't matter. It's just the way it is, man. Just the way it is. They love you, man. Being a parent is tough. Watching your kids grow up, it's crazy. I mean, my little girl is only 2, but I can tell you right now, it's crazy. It's like a weed. It's grow so big so quickly. It's out of control. It's like mind-numbing how fast it is. It's almost too fast, you know? You want your baby girl to always be your baby girl. And she will be. That's just how it works, man. Just gotta not sweat the little things, man. Don't sweat the little things. It ain't worth the hassle. But enjoy things as they are. Enjoy life. Enjoy the experience of life. I'll tell you, it ain't so bad. What's with all the texting today? Apparently I'm famous. Maybe it's infamous. Alright, I muted my phone, so shouldn't go off anymore. Alright, so we're doing bed here on the iron. Let's probably start actually discussing what I'm doing. So, we got the iron coming in. As you can see, we're definitely making more iron than we are using. It's grand. We have this all set up. Automation's about a little over halfway. We have science being crafted up here. We're going to make some more inserters by hand because we haven't quite gotten that set up yet, due to the fact that we can't do that until after. Alright, got all that going. Cool. So we have reds all set and ready to go. We can't do greens automatically until after we have automation 2 finished, but what we can do is we can set this up to have our science up here. What I would like to have is a bit of scouting, because I'm a little worried about Zabitas. I haven't been attacked yet, and that's what's worrying me. It's too quiet, you know? I don't like how quiet it is. It's far too quiet for this game. It's been almost 2 hours now in the game. Right? Just about 2 hours. We can do a quick check and do a save and check. Let's see, save the game. Do a load. It has been, yeah, it's getting pretty close to the 2 hour mark, and I haven't been attacked once. So I'm a little skeptical of what's going on here. What's going on, biters? What's going on, buddy? I can do the grid. I'm turn it off a minute. I can't do a grid. I want to do a grid. Or can I do, is the F1 grid? Oh, that's cool. It does that neat stuff. Oh. Atlas sprites? Nifty. Okay. Debug. Not that debug. That's too much. Basic. Turn off all that. I can do the show FPS. Do basic. Keep that on. And then I would like to get a grid. Is there a grid? Tile grid? Will that work? It's only a tile grid. Is there a map grid? Rails, trains, pollution values. Oh, that's nice to have too. Check the pollution values. Right, I need to do the F5. Yeah, there's pollution values. 500. It's going to -7. You can see where the pollution is here, going up crazily. Right there and right here is just ticking up and up and up and up and up, and it's spreading out. Active chunks, entities. there's the active chunks. Nice. Pollution chunks. Oh. I kind of like that. That's kind of neat, because you can see where the pollution's spreading a little easier. So if you're having issues seeing things, there's a way to go about it. Wake up list, maybe? Enemy expansion. Oh, no, I don't want to see that. No. Bad attack chunk, tile, raw. Hindering information. This is F4 to bring that up, and then F5 is basic, F6 is detailed, and then you have full. And then you can have always. I like the FPS is in always, because then you can see how that's all going. Let's turn the grid off. The whole reason for the grid is you can see these big blocks, like, this is seeing this block here, and then it's going to scan around, keep an eye on all that. So we'll turn that off. Need a bit more light, so let's get some lights down. Am I out of lights here? I'm out of lights. I should do some lights. I need iron stick. So actually I can do that because iron stick is here. Light. Oh, because light requires 3 things. Dang you! How are we doing over there anyway? Doing alright? It's taking a little while, but we're doing okay. Dang it. Alright. Still not enough for the auto crafting of light because you need automation. 2. So we'll do some lighting over here. Keep things going. And we'll go and get some labs down. Alright, now here's the thing. There's a lot more science packs now. So you come down here. I can't see the insides of that. There isn't just the normal tool we used to have. We have like all our 4 that we used to have. I think there's like 8 now? It's 6 or 8. A lot of science packs now. Let's take a look. So we can try to create a new setup for this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7. 7 total science packs. So how is it that we're going to get 7 across? Might as well think it's 8. Because we have 4. So we have 2 and 2 on either side of a line. So I guess that's what we're going to do. We're going to do 2 and 2. So we're going to have an outer 2 and inner 2. Right? So this is the edge of the science. We can do outer 2. Then we'll have our inserters set up as usual. Then we'll have our labs here. And our inserters here. And then 2 here. And our inserters and labs. And then 2 here. That's how we'll have it. That's why the outer. Well, the multiples on the outer, so we'll do the red and green. With the. Look at the lower ones on the outer ones. Like the ones we'll have least of on the outer sides. I like that idea. So that's why you can have a center section here. I like that idea. So we'll move this over a little bit because we have a lot more science to go, so we'll actually have more space to work with. Alright, that's done. Let's go with military. After all this time, I still haven't researched military, so I don't have proper armor and whatnot. So I'll do that. Alright, so we'll have this here. This will be the center line. So this will go on this side here. We'll have that here and here. And then there and there and there. This will be the center 2, like that. Now the way that I really want to have this is have it center. I haven't done this in a while. Because last series we did was Factorio and I didn't do the setup for it. But I want to have this. Because I could use the bigger poles. But here would be the line. So we do that here for those 2. And then there. Underground here. I know it's not gonna like look all that good, but That's fine. It doesn't need to look... Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, hit the like button below. If you'd like to see more videos like that one, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to get notifications, make sure to hit that bell. You can also check out our website for more information on different games. If you would like to support us, check out our Patreon page for more information on how to do so.